What's up guys, today we're going to look at some of the most pattern-based skins in CS2 and cover all of the rare patterns that each of them can get. Some of these skins offer up to 8 different pattern types, so there will be patterns that you've probably never seen before, and with that being said, let's get right into the video. First up, we have the Op Silk Tiger from the Havoc collection. This skin is covered in tiger decals, and the first rare pattern is called the Jawbreaker. The tiger's jaw lines up with the trigger, so when you shoot the Op, it looks like you break the tiger's jaw on every shot. Yin-Yang patterns have 2 tigers in the middle facing each other, and their positions match the appearance of a yin-yang sign. White tiger patterns are simple. There's a huge white tiger in the middle of the gun, and it's always visible when you play with this pattern. Tiger facing out patterns have a tiger near the scope facing away from the player, and tiger facing player patterns will have the opposite, a tiger that's directly over the mag looking at the player's hand. There's a few more niche patterns, but these are the best in my opinion. I've already covered the XM1014 seasons, but there's actually 5 distinct phases for this skin. Autumn fades like pattern 80 only feature black, orange, and gray to match the vibe of wilting trees during the fall. Average fades are very common and have more colors present, including yellow and green, but it's still barely visible. Next up, we have full fades, where we get the full color spectrum of this pattern sheet. Both yellow and green are highly visible. Fake spectrum fades will feature that rare blue leaf, but they're called fake because it's not fully visible. And lastly, we have the best pattern type possible, which is spectrum fades. The blue leaf is in the best position, and you can see all 3 shades of blue. That's the key difference between the last 2 pattern types. The Icarus Fel has 2 specific pattern types, dark and light. Let's start with light. Pattern 1 is a good example of half sun and feathers, where the feather pattern is directly above the mag and touching the barrel, and the sun sits in the corner. The next light pattern is centered wax and sun. You get to see both the wax and feathers since the sun is directly in the middle of the gun, and it's the brightest pattern possible. Next up, we have dark patterns. 11 is a good example where the whole body is nearly full black, and the actual pattern shows up on the stock, so you don't get to see it in game when you idle the gun. If you want to buy any of the skins in this video, definitely check out today's sponsor, which is GamerPay. GamerPay is a player-to-player trading site where you can buy and sell skins securely with excellent reviews on Trustpilot. There's a huge variety of knives for all price ranges, and it's very easy to find exact patterns, floats, and finishes at prices significantly cheaper than the Steam market. There's no buying fee and a 3% selling fee, so if you guys want to check it out, you can use my link in the description for a free $5 bonus. The Popoff is pretty simple when you look at the average pattern, but there's a ton of rare patterns, and they make this skin look 10 times better. Max white patterns obviously feature the most white. Pattern 87 has a band running through the whole body. Centered word patterns have the Russian word practice spelled directly in the middle of the gun, and it has the most gray possible for this skin. Next up, we have the curved retro spectrum. Crazy name, but the main feature is this linear colorway that runs through the middle and stock with geometry on the handle. Checkerboard patterns are my favorite. The op turns black with a colorful square design throughout the whole gun. Lastly, we have the Picasso patterns. This skin is covered in shapes, lines, gradients, colors, and you can see the inspiration behind the name. There's a few more pattern types, but these are the best in my opinion. Glock Grinders have the very popular Mag's Black pattern, but most people don't know that the muzzle changes color based on the patterns. You can't see this in game, so it's purely a collector's item, but there's a huge variety, so I had to show it. You can get black, silver, red, olive, mint, teal, yellow, even pink, so if you're a fan of collecting different colors for one skin, this Glock offers way more than just the patterns that you see on the slide. The XOXO has a ton of pattern types, so let's cover the main ones. Skull patterns have a skull under the sight rail and usually feature green and pink as the secondary colors. XXX patterns have a bright blue background with 3 X's written in purple. Best example here is pattern 394. The most popular pattern for this skin is the pink mesh. The back is completely pink, and 443 is the #1 best pattern here. Berry patterns will cover the whole XM in blue and pink, while smoothie patterns are primarily yellow and pink, and there's even 3 different pattern types that have words written on them. Pattern 320 here is considered a burn it down pattern. I highly recommend checking out Captain Kraken's full guide on this skin. He did a phenomenal job, and his Steam guide will be in the description. The SSG Abyss has a huge variety of colorways, so let's check them out. There are patterns where you can get the whole body light blue, turn the whole scope light blue, or go for the max blue pattern on both the scope and body. The pattern sheet also features these vertical lines, so some patterns will have them on the body, while others will feature them on the scope. Keep in mind that you can also turn the skin green if you get it in Battle Scarred. I've already covered the op paw, but there's a few more patterns that you should know about. First up, you can get this golden cat right above the mag, and I did forget to mention that it's also reflective reflective in the sun, which makes these patterns really stand out. There's also this golden grenade pattern, which has the exact same reflectiveness as the golden cat, and pretty much everyone knows about pattern 420, which is the Zaza cat in the middle. Lastly, you can also get this cat with a gas mask on, and the best position will be right above the mag, similar to the other rare patterns. The Sputnik is super cheap and offers great patterns if you like the space theme. First up, we have patterns where the spaceship is in the grip position, and if you prefer cleaner patterns, you also have Max Blue as an option. The pattern sheet also features stars, so you can also get them on the grip position as well. Circular patterns will have this round design that directly fits the shape of the gun, and my favorite is horizontal patterns where the design follows the linear barrel of the gun. There's even more pattern types, but these are some of the best. The MP9 Stained has a few clean pattern types, so let's cover them. Max Blue patterns don't have any red on the body except for one tile, and it's great for blue crafts. Max Stain patterns will have the red tile pattern running through the whole body and into the handle, even the sights turn red with this pattern. My favorite one by far is the red rails. You can get special patterns where the rails are red instead of the typical blue, and it looks insanely clean in all sorts of lighting. Sun and Leos are great budget ops, and they have a few options. Big Sun patterns have the large sun decal directly over the mag with lots of lines and zodiac signs running through the body. Small sun patterns are pretty much the same thing, but with the smaller sun decals and cleaner circles throughout the skin. You can also get triple sun patterns where the skin features two small suns and a large one in the middle, but these are way more rare than the rest. Lastly, we have 69 patterns, and if you want a funny number in the middle of your op, just check the pattern IDs that I provided. For the final spot, we have one of the most pattern-based skins in the game, the Acid Etched. There's a ton of rare patterns, so I will cover them briefly. 782 has a smiley face on the back of the gun. 326 has the 4-leaf clover on the slide. There's fade patterns where the slide gets a gradient of green, yellow, orange, pink, purple, and blue. Blue patterns primarily feature slides that only have blue and purple on them, and you can also do this with green and yellow, and orange and yellow. There's a ton of other patterns with different color layouts, so if you're interested, definitely check out the Steam guide in the description. So that's everything for today. If you enjoyed the video, consider subbing to the channel for more content like this. Huge shout out to the creators of the Steam guides. I will link them all in the description. I hope to see you all in the next video, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.